Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. This is our final episode of the NFL season. This is our Super Bowl 59 special. We have the Kansas City Chiefs going up against your boys, Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles Chiefs made the Super Bowl. Surprise, surprise. For those of you guys at the beginning of the year who place futures, you guys know that one of the three exactas that Dino and I gave out, the one was Eagles Chiefs. I believe it just cashed my ticket. I think it was like 28 or 24 to 1. That cash. Congratulations to everybody on that future. But we have so much to get into. We've got sides totals, Eagles props, Chiefs props, first touchdowns, and then last but not least, we hit one last week, our long shot parlay. Before we get into our Super Bowl special for the last time of the season, let me bring on my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. I know what's going on, man.
Yeah, for the last time of the season, guys, what's going on? I'm glad to be back, my guy. Time to discuss one final time the biggest matchup of the year, the Super Bowl. Let's get some of these props in order, man. Let's go make some more money. Like you said, we already made money with I'm guessing the matchup. Let's make some more money figuring out the game script and what's going to happen in this matchup. Let's rock.
Yeah. So lucky for us, we kind of have not necessarily a game script, but we got an idea of what these two teams look like against each other. They've played 2 times over the last 3 years. Relatively similar game plans. However, both of these teams look slightly different. For the most part, the Chiefs are relatively the same team. They have a few different offensive identities, or identity would be the correct word. But the Eagles, on the other hand, a similar offense, but an extremely revamped defense. The reason, many people say, the Eagles lost the first Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. So this is probably the most talent this Philadelphia Eagles team has had in its history. And this is the most success we've seen in a short span since the Brady regime in New England. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. We can start out by saying this. Before we get to the side and total, for every professional bettor, we know most of the people who listen to this podcast, we do this shit for fun. We do it to make a couple bucks. But, I have things where I break a lot of stuff down. And I will say this, off the top, full disclaimer. Every single time I run numbers or run a sim or look at ranks and shit, the Eagles win the matchup. But I know Mahomes has a Tom Brady effect. No matter what your model says, no matter what your numbers say, there is a quarterback where those numbers just cannot keep up with. And Mahomes has that Tom Brady-esque effect. I know that. So let's just get that out of the way before we start saying this and that. We're all going to come into agreement that Patrick Mahomes is a generational quarterback. He's going to outplay computers. And we're just going to give it our best shot. You ready to get it, Dino?
Come on, bro. Let's go.
All right, we don't have to say leading us off because there's only one game. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles playing in New Orleans on, I just found out it's 2 Eagles birthdays. It's not only Saquon Barkley's birthday, but also Cooper DeJean. Dino, I've rambled on enough. I'm curious to see what's your thoughts on the side or total.
Now, here's what I'm going to say to you, and no matter how long I think about this, and this is why I come to realization, the side is absolutely torn. I am completely torn on each side. Now, granted, yes, do I have a little bit of bitterness because we didn't make the Super Bowl? Yes, all right. So, I lean with the Chiefs, but it's just a natural fact that, like you said, there comes to a point where you just can't explain Patrick Mahomes' success. And when it gets to that point, you can't make no logic, no common sense concept about it. Like you said, basically what you start off as. So as far as a side, look, personally, I'm going to lean the Chiefs. I am completely torn on the two teams. So really, I'm not really going to bet the side, but I will bet the total. I believe the total will be over 48.5. I don't know, and I know you may have a different type of aspect of it because of the defenses, but I honestly believe no matter what happens, an answer is going to happen for an answer. Whoever's going to have the ball last. No matter if Jalen Hurts and them, they can put up 26 points, but Patrick Mahomes will be right behind them with 26 more. So I feel like it's one of those tit for tat type matchups. I believe that the Eagles' offense is going to cause the Chiefs to kind of, catch up a little bit, kind of ramp up their offense a little bit more than usual. So I actually think it's going to be a little bit more of a high scoring game than people may seem.
Okay, so you're on the over 48.5. You're under the key number, so that's ideal. So I make this number 49.5.
Mhm.
So you're at 48.5, so you play the over. If it's 49.5, I play the under. I am pretty much not going to touch a total unless it goes live. If there's 2 or 3 quick scores, I might play a live under. Or if they come out pretty stagnant, I might play a live over. Probably hit it looking for like a 45 on the live number. But what I'll probably end up doing most likely is I'm going to be on the Eagles plus 1.5. And it's mainly because I know a lot of times these games this year, they're not really landing on one. Like these games are landing on 2, 3, and 4 majority of the time. And the Chiefs have won the last, I think, 2 Super Bowls by exactly 3 points. I think it was a field goal.
Right.
So with that being said, I know we're giving out long shot plays later on, but there is a prop. I saw it, I think, on Caesars. Either team to win by exactly 3 points plus 700. That doesn't seem priced right. I think that should probably be closer to like plus 350, plus 300, but it was plus 700 on Caesars. I saw it. Now we're recording this February 6th. I saw that February 5th. I saw that last night and I totally forgot about it. I literally just remembered now that we're speaking about it. I'm going to try to get on that. So I believe it was on Caesars. I'm like 95% sure it was on Caesars, but yeah, it was either team to win by exactly 3 points. I think that's pretty juicy because this game, as Donnell says, is extremely coin flippish. It can go either way. And that's why the total shows, the spread shows this at plus 1.5. It's basically a pick 'em. And it's obviously favored for the team that's had recent success. I get it. The line is correct. And I know a lot of people are really betting on Spags to slow this Eagles run game down. And I'll be the first one to admit that the Chiefs are the team that I worry about the most about running the ball. But what I will say, James Cook had his way for the most part with this Chiefs defense. And that is why I'm kind of holding out on this speculation that they're going to shut down the run. Because this Chiefs defense isn't necessarily a shut down the run team. They are a bend, don't break team. They're pretty much a replica of this Philly defense where they'll let you get downfield a little bit, but they stonewall in the red zone. They are stonewall. So the reason why I'm going to lean with the Eagles here is for 2 different reasons. The Chiefs have to worry about a dual run threat. We've seen Jalen Hurts run in the playoffs, scramble, make plays, and we have, in my opinion, statistically a top 2 offensive line, but in my opinion, the number 1 ranked offensive line. And I just think that we've seen Kellen Moore get really creative in the red zone, whether that's pulling the ball back and Jalen Hurts running behind Saquon, Saquon getting extra touches to the outside. They're running really strong off counter. This team is just built to run the ball. They are hard-nosed. Now, the Chiefs, they have championship DNA. They adjust really well. So this is probably going to be a game where you see these teams come out in the first half really slow. I think they're going to be methodical, try to not lose possession. In the second half, these teams are going to really be adjusting. And you may see the game open up in the second half. So I think that's where Dynel's over comes into play because there's going to come to a point where it's a chess match. Like you're going to try to make these teams antsy and make plays. And that's where you're going to see the 1 or 2 deep balls because honestly, like Dino, you could probably agree with me. Like these teams are kind of boring to watch on offense.
Bingo.
Okay. So yeah. So they're not the teams that are going to give the defense opportunities to get turnovers. Like you can kind of see like the Commanders, they're an explosive offense. They thrive on the big play. But that can be their Achilles heel.
Yes,
the
sir.
Lions, they thrive on the big play. And you saw it. You saw it.
Yep.
You saw it firsthand against the Commanders. The Commanders is not an extremely strong defense, but they do have people that will go out there and make plays. They are a pretty solid defense, and you saw it versus the Lions. Like if a team trails versus teams that make big plays, they can sit back a little bit. So the Commanders got a lead. They sat back on the Lions. They made big plays. That is the problem with both of these offenses, the Eagles and the Chiefs. It does not matter. They stick to their guns. Time and time again, you've seen the Eagles start off slow, but they stick to their guns. They wear you down. They play for the long game. That is exactly what the Chiefs do. So this is, in my opinion, two very, very similar schemes on both offense and defense. So I get it. Like, I get you back in the Chiefs because historically they've been the team that overcomes the adjustments and they win these games. Like, I don't think anybody really thought the Niners were going to beat the Chiefs, even though it was neck and neck the entire game, because there's this level of composure that the Chiefs sideline has. You never see them get too antsy. You never see them panic. They stick to their guns. I think that's why I have a lot more optimism about this Eagles team than the one from 2 years ago, because I will be honest, 2 years ago, I was like, there's no way we're beating this damn Chiefs team. Like, they're just cruising on all cylinders. We rely on the deep play, A.J. Brown. We have completely changed our identity. That's why I lean with this team. I just feel like we have the stronger run game. I think we have the better defense. Obviously, championship DNA is something you can't teach your players. They've got to have it, and the Chiefs have it. So, trust me, I see your point clear. You kind of like the total more than the side. I like the side a little bit more than the total. Okay, so there's, two sides to the bone. Right. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some Eagles props, Dino. What on the Philadelphia side will you be targeting?
You know what's funny is, I think the funny part about it is I like the fact that you brought up that the Chiefs' run defense is going to be kind of top-notch and is going to cause a little bit of an issue because, honestly, call me weird, and I have had a gut feeling about this the whole week. I just feel like this is an A.J. Brown type game here. This is going to be a masterclass. I feel like A.J. Brown at 4.5 receptions is kind of low. He's going to be a very prominent target, especially when the running game is going to have to be a little bit more creative. I feel it's going to be more of a, I think early on, it's going to be more of a statement of, listen, we're going to keep you on your back heels. I feel like Kellen Moore might start off with 3, but literally back-to-back passing plays to start off rip. Just to kind of get him off balance is like, hey, yes, we can run the ball, but we're going to get we're going to definitely pass the ball too. I feel like the passing game is going to be a little bit more into it, so that leads to me also having Jalen Hurts over and passing yards. I actually like Saquon Barkley receiving yards. As you can see, last week, James Cook had a nice little time getting outside the numbers by catching the ball. I think he had 3 receptions, 49 receiving yards. So I like Saquon receiving yards, especially at plus 275, pretty decent value. Sprinkle a little bit of that in there, and that's honestly me what I have. Unless Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. It's the big stage at this point. I ain't gonna lie to you. But what's a Super Bowl without a tush push in any end zone? So
yeah, exactly.
Anytime touchdown. Yep.
Okay, so believe it or not, you and I are pretty neck and neck on a lot of these. I have A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts both for anytime touchdown.
Yep.
I have A.J. Brown receptions. I have it laddered up to 8.
Yep.
I just feel like he's going to see 11 targets. He's the big dog. I really feel like it's going to be quick passes. But the one guy who should have a really good game is Dallas Goedert. We've seen the Chiefs are last. They're dead last against the tight end because they eliminate deep plays. We see A.J. Brown run a lot over the middle. Basically the end of the season. Like, he's not going downfield. You kind of see Devontae Smith run those deeper routes. You see Dotson, even though he's not getting receptions, he's getting those deeper routes. He's pulling the safety. He makes everything open in the middle. And that's where you've seen this Eagles team attack defenses over the middle of the field. A.J. Brown's best games where, volume-wise, has been in the middle of the field. We know he catches those 1 or 2 deep balls on the sideline, in man coverage. When they give him a shot, we've seen it. Jalen Hurts will give him a shot. Like, one-on-one coverage, if a team's given him an opportunity, they take a chance. Now, Jalen Hurts has been notorious this year for really being safe with the ball. Now, that's kind of been, a lot of people don't like that, but that is our identity. And that is why I feel like these are going to be a lot of quick passes. So that's why I like receptions over yards for a lot of these guys.
Right.
But that's not to say that Goddard, we've seen him last couple games break away with a big play, on these drag routes where they're dragging people downfield and he runs out. And again, that's going to be in the same realm of Saquon Barkley. So I kind of agree with you there. He might sneak out of the backfield once or twice, if they get the quick passes going and there's going to be an odd man out. And, whether that's Tranquil or Bolton that's trying to chase Saquon, Goddard, whoever it may be, there's going to be some sort of mismatch. So Saquon at 14.5 yards is, I know he doesn't see a lot of
Criminal.
volume, but
I
I
think it's
mean, this
criminal.
guy with the ball in his hands is special. I mean, that could be
Yeah,
one catch. Truthfully, could be
literally.
one catch. So I agree with you there. Age, of course, the Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I'm actually taking that up to 3+ again. I've been saying this every week. We got it last week. Jalen Hurts touchdown, 2+, 3+. There's just too much value for a guy who on the 1-2 yard line, he's getting the ball. He's getting the ball. He's basically a fullback in the red zone, so he's going to be getting the touches. And my last prop for the Eagles that I'll give out is Nolan Smith to record a sack.
Ooh, I like that. I like
They're going to
that.
be so worried about
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, as they always been, that Nolan Smith is actually going to have opportunities to get to Patrick Mahomes. And Nolan Smith is the Eagles' postseason sack leader with 4.
Yeah, bro, you seen it. Like, I think the first game he had 2. Against us, I think he had 2. I think we had like 5. Was he at 4 or 5?
Yeah, he's at 4.
4. Yeah, 4. I
So,
was about to say. I've seen every one. Like, yeah,
yeah,
he's
all
crazy.
time leading sack. And this is his
All
first.
time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's surprising. Holy shit.
But you know what that's a testament to? Jalen fucking Carter, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Literally.
Nolan Smith has really stepped into these shoes. Now, I will say, I know the whole Brandon Graham thing might be coming back, and that may eat into his play. But realistically, Nolan Smith has been so hot. They're going to try to keep him out there as much as possible. And we've seen Fangio. He doesn't care who you are, what your name is. If you're playing well, you're going to see the field. Ask Zach Bond.
Literally.
If you're showing that you can play, you're going to see the field. And Fangio has been really keen to that. So I think me and you really see eye to eye on this A.J. Brown. Oh, and I guess that, the last prop I didn't give out was Hurts over passing yards. It's at 211, man. Like, for a team
I put that up.
the
That's
Chiefs,
what I said. Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like this.
Mhm.
Actually, I make Jalen Hurts passing yards 245. Like,
Yeah, literally.
in a game where it's going to be back and forth and it's really going to be chess, like who's going to stop the run, you're going to see him take a couple shots. You're going to see him take a couple shots. A.J. Brown is going to want the ball. It's the biggest. This is the biggest. I know they just played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but this is the biggest game of Hurts' career and A.J. Brown because they have a chance to really rewrite the team. Like, this Eagles team has just been so come up short, come up short, come up short. And every time they get to a big game, they struggle. Like, this is really a big chance to take a big step because we've seen the drama with the offseason, like potentially losing Kellen Moore. A.J. Brown might get traded. Like, there's just so much stuff where they can really put that shit to bed. Like, this is a really big game for the future of this franchise. Like, it means a lot. So I really think it's going to be A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And then obviously, like, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not playing Saquon rushing prop.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 114 yards, man. Like,
That's damn.
Like, it's in the Super Bowl
against
a 2-time repeating champions. Like, that just seems extremely high. Now listen, who's to say he doesn't have this shit by halftime? Like, but I just feel like there's no value on it, right?
No, you're 100% right. Yeah, there's
Okay,
no value. To me, there's no value on it.
Yeah, I just didn't want to sound crazy because like people give it out like it's nothing. And I'm just like, dude, like I get it.
Nah. Yeah,
I get
I
it.
ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't even look there, but call me crazy, but I would have started leaning towards the other. You said 114 and a half yards. Like, that's where the line is at. Understand that, and I get it. People can get excited. I know Eagles fans are excited about Saquon. Understand that a lot of these Saquon's yards come off of bursts and big plays, right?
Yeah.
The Chiefs do a really good job limiting that. Now, he's gonna get his, but I don't. Hey, 115 is more of a stretch than you think. I'm just saying. I just want to
that's
like that.
Now, I will say, if you guys are interested in Saquon's props, we know this Eagles team. I mean, it's similar to the Chiefs. They like to run it down your throat and wear you down. So if he has like 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, and he's getting very minimal carries, that total will go up in the second half. So as long as it's a within reach game, like you guys, I would if you get a live total and prop, if it gets down to 90, if he has a slow first quarter, I jump on that because we've seen him heat up in the second half, and especially in a game like this, I really feel like they're going to rely on him. So I look live, but that's enough for the Eagles props. Now, what do you like on the Kansas City side of the ball?
I guess I'm a little tossed up when it comes to the Kansas City props. I guess the big thing I would say is, I mean, just out of respect, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins at over at 11 and a half receiving yards. It's probably the biggest game of his career. He's definitely at least going to get 2 catches, at least down the field. I can definitely see him getting over 11 and a half yards, considering the fact that, what is what it is. But I guess, of course, that anybody would say Travis Kelce will have a touchdown. I have anytime touchdown, Travis Kelce at plus 120. And I'm going to give you a little bit more of a longer shot one when it comes to this. Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown as a scorer. That's I think it's at plus, what is it? I think it's 1,000 at some point. Hold on, give me 1 second because I just lost track of it. It
Plus 4 to 1,
is
plus 400.
plus 4 to 1, yeah, plus 400. Like I said, and Patrick Mahomes is known to getting outside the pocket, especially when the rush is there. Notice has been hot. That D line has actually been fire. I've seen some crack. I'm not seeing a lot of cracks in the Kansas City offensive line, but there is some cracks there. Especially, yeah, definitely expect Patrick Mahomes to get outside the pocket. Actually, you could also parlay his rushing yards with that as well. Throwing that over in the rushing yards, I think it's at 11 and a half. And yeah, that's basically all I have from kind of Kansas City. I've been kind of light with Kansas City.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm actually on Mahomes underpassing, over rushing. I just 250 and a half. This is going to be, like I said, they're going to be similar to the Eagles, but the Chiefs are really run heavy, screen heavy, short pass heavy. Like they really don't take shots downfield. Like we do not see the Chiefs. Now, Xavier Worthy might get loose one time, but realistically, like this is not they're not a Tyreek Hill team anymore. Like this is very methodical, possession-based team. Now, the reason why I agree with you on the Patrick Mahomes rushing yards is because teams have been getting pressure. And I think Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter are going to cause that. And we saw it last week. He scored a touchdown versus the Bills. I agree with you at 4-1. I also played that. But my favorite touchdown scorer for the Chiefs is Kareem Hunt. We've seen him. He's been the goal line back. We're getting him at plus 160. That's a joke. Like, he scored in the last 2 games. I actually like him for 2+ touchdowns again. We took him last week for 2+ touchdowns. He only got the 1, but 2+ touchdowns again. He's their goal line guy. Like Pacheco, he got hurt. And not saying that he's not as good as Hunt, but Hunt has been getting the bulk of the carries in the red zone. We saw Pacheco had a big drop last week. So, I mean, Kareem Hunt has just been their workhorse. He's been on this team before. Like, this isn't new to him. He's their guy in the red zone. So, I also like Xavier Worthy, but I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to give that out as an official play. I like Kareem Hunt the most. I'm with you on Patrick Mahomes, but Xavier Worthy would be my third. He just has been seeing a lot of targets for a speedy guy, which is also why I'm going to play him over 4.5 rushing yards. That's just for a guy who might get 2 jet sweeps or 2, trick plays. Like he's going to have a shot. Like he can break one loose, and that's all we need. So I'm on Xavier Worthy. Rushing, and my final prop is actually a ladder. Okay? You ready for this?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Because this isn't pretty, but you'll see why in a second. So, there's this guy on the Chiefs that pops up every couple games, and he has a lot of yards. He finds he is this guy he's almost like Travis Kelce, but a wide receiver, and he just seems to sit in these pocket and finds these yards.
Say it.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster. Listen, 25+ yards is plus 165. 40+ yards, plus 410. I am taking him up to 50 yards, plus 670. For some, Juju Smith-Schuster is just such a weird player because, half the time you forget he's on the team. But he runs a decent amount of routes. He sees a decent amount of targets. And he just has these games where he'll go score or go get 30, 40, whatever, receiving yards. And I believe last week he had 60 receiving yards. So he's just this guy where he just kind of comes out of nowhere and he has these big games and Patrick Mahomes finds him and he's just like that guy you forget about because you got Travis Kelce out there, you got Xavier Worthy out there, and now you got Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. He just kind of sits there, he comes in the game and he finds these pockets for 2 to 3 catches, and next thing you know, he's got 60 yards. And shit, he did it to us the first Super Bowl 2 years ago. He had a really, really good game. So, I mean, this guy is just weird. So there's just too much value in a guy that might see 4 or 5 targets and get 2 to 3 catches, and he'll sneakily have 45, 50 yards. So, I mean, you can even play him for a touchdown if you really wanted to. Like, there's just so much value in a guy that will most likely be in this game plan because he's just like the forgotten about. So, I like Juju Smith-Ladder. I don't know. Some people like Noah Gray over Juju Smith-Schuster, but Noah Gray's just really been like, yeah, he had those couple weeks where he was getting the touchdowns, but I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster is where the value's at. So that's where I'm lying with that. Okay. So that leads us into first touchdown scorers. Dino, give me your first touchdown scorers for the Eagles.
For the Eagles, okay. I actually just had him here. My bad, lost track of him. But I can already tell you, my one of my biggest ones is AJ Brown at plus 1100 on FanDuel. Yep. I believe what it is. Yeah, plus 1100 on FanDuel. I mean, like I said, I believe it's going to be his game, his time to really shine. I really I felt like the Eagles were kind of get the opening blow anyway, so I just feels like it was the right move to kind of put AJ Brown there. Like I said, the prominent guy, especially early on, set the tone. Like, you're going to pass the ball and get it and get the ball out quick. And I think that's the only first one I have for the Eagles, if I have one.
Okay, so you like that one for the Eagles. I like AJ Brown, but I'm gonna give 2 long shots here. I'm gonna get cheeky with it. So I'm gonna take my favorite first touchdown scorer, chalky would be Hurts. But I'm going to give out these 2 guys. Too much value in my opinion. Dallas Goedert, 17-1.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going into the script where the Chiefs struggle against the tight end. He's kind of been, he's been getting a lot of targets. He's been leading the team in targets over the last few weeks. So he might break free. He might be the goal line guy. This one, Kenny Gainwell, 90-1.
Okay. Oh, 90.
Gainwell 90-1, and the reason is we've seen time and time again that Barkley, I'm really not going with. I'm really not trying to speak this into existence, but a couple times this year, Barkley's had a lot of he's had chunk carries, 3, 4, 5 carries, getting 15 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, whatever it may be. And he would come out for extended periods of time because he'd have a stinger or, he'd have a cramp in his leg. We've kind of seen it over the last few weeks. And Gainwell was getting some extended run. And I know last week, obviously, Gainwell got banged up. I'm hoping he's back for this game or else I just go with Shipley at 90-1. But Kenny Gainwell right now, as long as he plays, he's 90-1. And I don't know, if Saquon has 3 carries and on his third carry he busts out 60 yards and they're sitting at the 11-yard line, he's obviously going to come out for a play or two. He's just not going to have enough gas in the tank. So Gainwell, if he's the second man, which he is the second man as long as he plays, so just keep a monitor on that. But at 90-1, I mean, he's gotten carries. Kenny Gainwell in playoff games gets 3 to 4 carries. So if he plays, I love it. If he doesn't, I'll probably just play half of that, what I would originally play on Gainwell, on Shipley, because, I mean, dude, this is a running team. And the second string at 90-1, I know a lot of people can laugh and say, Hurts is the second string running back because he runs just as much, but the second string running back at 90-1, Kenny Gainwell, that don't make sense to me. So I'll play Kenny G at 90-1 with the value with Dallas Goedert. All right, Dino, tell me what you like on the Chiefs.
For the Chiefs, first touchdown scores, I actually what's funny is I literally just took one from your book. Your boy Juju, instead of taking him anytime, first touchdown scorer, I mean at plus 3,000. I mean that's tremendous value for a receiver who just finds a way to get into the end zone. Like you said, I don't need to explain more of it. You kind of explained the whole synopsis of it, so I'm gonna leave that alone there. And in my other sneaky one, I will have to say for first touchdown scorer is wow, I'm kind of, let me just say it out loud. Samaje Perine at plus 5,000. That's another long shot one. I really should have said this for the long shots, but the fact that, I mean, let's think about it. Yes, you got Pacheco back there, and yes, you have Kareem Hunt back there. But at any given moment, Samaje Perine has those little surprise appearances where he'll pop out on the third down, kind of be the third down back.
Literally did it last week versus the Bills, seal the game.
Yeah, literally, literally, man. And I think at plus 5,000, that's just tremendous value for a running back by committee group. Basically, I'm taking a book from Jared here with Kenneth Gainwell 9-1 because Kenneth Gainwell does get touch like what he gets what 4 touches a game, 3 touches at
Yep.
least at certain times. So Samaje Perine wouldn't be surprised for me at plus 5,000. That's a long shot one. And then I guess if you want to do kind of one that's more in the realm of what's going on, honestly, I would say, but honestly, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
This a plus 951. This is a nice little play. Yes, it's realistic, but yeah, I like my 2 long shot ones for the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm also going long shots. I also played Juju at 30-1. And my other one was Patrick Mahomes at 20-1. He just,
Mm,
we saw versus the Bills last week. The teams
yeah,
just sit back
yeah,
on their heels a little bit. They worry about the
yeah.
pass, because there's so many weapons in the red zone. And he's so good at just delaying a run. Like you don't know he's running until it's too late half the time. So he's
Yeah.
just a guy who
Yep.
seems to find the end zone. He's sneakily fast. Like Patrick Mahomes is sneakily fast. So I could see him getting into the end zone. That also plays into your anytime touchdown prop. So
Yeah.
I'm playing Juju at 30-1 for a guy who's going to be out there. I think he scored one in the first Super Bowl we played. I'll
Mhm.
take the 30-1 odds on that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that brings us to our long shot parlay. I hit my one last week with James Cook 2+ and Saquon 2+. All right. I have a similar recipe. I'll go first this week. Um,
Yes, sir.
I'm taking Jalen Hurts 2+ touchdowns, Kareem Hunt 2+ touchdowns, and that is 65-1.
Okay. All
So
right. All right.
ten
I like
bucks
that.
wins 650. 2 tush pushes, 2 1-yard handoffs. We'll have it by halftime.
I like that. I like that. So I'm gonna give you another long shot. Now I feel like people bring up Hollywood Brown and say he's kind of like a prominent target. He's not really a huge prominent target. He kind of sits in the back, especially with Xavier Worthy kind of taking over as that speed guy. So I'm gonna do a little trick from your book. I'm gonna do a reverse correlation. I'm gonna do Marquise Brown under 3.5 receptions, but he has 70 receiving yards. That sits at about basically 50-1. Three and a
Okay.
half under 3.5 receptions, 70 receiving yards.
Yeah, we saw they took a deep shot to him. Was last week? It was last week or 2 weeks ago. Like Xavier Worthy's been the guy who's been getting those like quick passes, those screen passes. Like we see him maybe go deep once a game, but now that they have
Mhm.
DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown together, Hollywood Brown with his speed has kind of been the guy they've been like using as the flanker, getting over the top. So
Sneaky.
I agree with you there.
Yes,
I think
sir.
if there's one guy who's the boomer bust, I could see Hollywood Brown getting like 2 big catches and that's
Yep.
it. So
That's it.
I feel like
There you go.
receptions wise, it's gonna go to maybe like Hopkins or Worthy.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Nice, nice, nice. So, um, any last props that you want to give out? I know I like one from the Eagles. It's Nolan Smith to have the first Eagles sack. That's 4-1. I mean,
Hmm.
for a guy who's going to have one-on-one coverage because of Carter, there's going to be pressure. He's the guy who seems to be getting back there. So why not ride the hot hand? So Nolan Smith, first Eagles touchdown. Was there anything else you wanted to give out?
Not exactly. Let me look. I just want to make sure. Let me skim through this just to make sure I'm not tripping here. No, for the most part, I think I'm all caught up and I'm all good. If I have anything, I'll go ahead and make sure I tweet it. So make sure you guys follow me at Twitter. I'm sorry, on X, I should say.
All
Let me look it
right.
up.
Okay, Donald. Last prediction of the season. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I
Okay.
just want your gut feeling. All right.
Hmm.
What will be the score of the Super Bowl?
33-30. 33 to 30.
33 30.
30.
Let me look. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you odds on that just in case anybody's interested. Chiefs 33-30. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Chiefs 33. Eagles 30. That is 200-1. 200-1 if you get that right. So make sure you go put a couple dollars on that because you're gonna
Oh
be pissed if you
yeah.
get that right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm on the other side here. Obviously, I got the Eagles winning, and I
Hmm.
have the Eagles winning 31-27.
Okay.
Just that's I don't know why that popped up in my head for the gut. That's actually 150-1.
Okay.
So
I like that.
those are
I
our
like
score
that. And listen.
predictions. I guess that's 2 overs. So yeah, I told you I really wasn't going to play too much on the total. I'm glad I didn't because that was my gut feeling. So that's yours. So Dino's got the Chiefs. Maybe he's a little salty because we whooped that ass last week or 2 weeks ago.
You know it.
I had to throw something in there. I was letting you off easy.
No. You good. You good. You
So
good. Shit,
that
talk
has
your
been our Super Bowl episode. Be sure, like he said, to follow us on X at @shredthespread_. We may do a little Super Bowl special. Maybe we'll do like a parlay or something, and if it wins, we'll give. That's what we'll do. You know what, Dino? We'll
What's up,
do a
bro?
long shot parlay. We'll post it on the STS Twitter. Me and Donnell are going to come up with a parlay together.
Yes,
If it
sir.
hits, we'll give away some money. Thanks you guys for listening all season. That'll be like our little gift back to you guys. I'll let Donnell plug your handle and say your last few words.
Yes, sir. Last few words. Thing. I'm gonna throw something about that. But nah, last message for the season, knuckleheads. The same one every week. Make sure you guys tune into us and you follow us on X at @shredthespread_, as what Jared said. And make sure you guys follow me at DYMEEZY. If I find anything, if I get a gut feeling about something, I'm gonna make sure I post it on the Twitter page for you guys. It is Super Bowl week, last week of the season, man. Let's come out and let's make some big money coming out the last week, man.
Yeah, he's right, man. We've been making some really good money this postseason, as we have each and every year of this
Every week,
podcast. So
yes,
we don't
sir.
anticipate slowing down now. Thanks again for listening for this incredible season. Stay tuned on X. We'll figure out what we want, if we want to do something for the off season or throw in an episode here and there. Obviously, Donnell and I are going to take this off season and use this to get some things done. We've been caught up with the podcast and all that stuff, so we're gonna take advantage of this time off.
Yes,
But we will
sir.
for sure be back. If the next episode we have is next season, we will be back as we always are for our divisional previews, where we go division by division, team by team, team totals, whatever it may be. So we also give out our futures and our MVP bets and all that stuff, which we both gave out Josh Allen MVP, so
Yeah.
hopefully that comes through, because we had, I think our 3 that we came together on was Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I can't remember what the third one. Do you remember what the third one was?
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was maybe. I know we were talking about dark horses like Golf and Love to start the season.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jordan Love.
Jordan
That's who it
Love.
was.
Yep.
So we gave out Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, and we gave out Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the big favorite, so we expect him to come through. But yeah, we got the Super Bowl exacta, Eagles and Chiefs. That was a big one. But yeah, we get to do all this over again in a couple months. Until then, we'll see you.
Peace.